after on the final hour, 37 today. So we're keeping track. We're doing research. It's Gremlin research, and once I think we understand now. We need to take a break between 12:34 and 12:38, and that might cover us. Let's go. Are we back on the phone lines, or do I just need to answer the gentleman's question?
We're still on the phone line.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I just I don't know how much you heard of me from before, but
I heard a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you kind of chime in about Amendola and what maybe he can bring that Welker couldn't? Or, like I said, I haven't seen much of him.
Are you a big Patriots fan or a big Welker fan? Not that it matters. My answer is going to be the same.
I'm a big Patriots fan. And I obviously love what Welker brought to the team, but it's going to hurt not having him around. I just kind of want to know what you think about that.
Do you understand the the saying or the slogan, a poor man's Wes Welker?
Absolutely. And you know how I kind of look at it, and I think, a lot of people are pretty upset about it. I think, some people could say that Wes Welker was a poor man's Amendola.
Really?
Yes.
I would go the other way with that. I would go the other way with that. I would say Danny Amendola is a poor man's Wes Welker.
Now, who was better in college, Amendola or Welker?
Welker.
Really?
In my opinion. I mean, I watched them both play.
Right.
Now, do I like Danny Amendola? Yeah. Do I think Danny Amendola is as good as Wes Welker? No.
Right.
Now he's a little younger than Wes Welker, and that's one of the things people are saying, that after the knee injury and rehab and the tread that Wes has put on himself and his body in the NFL, that he started his good value and his good abilities are starting to diminish. But let's be honest, check Amendola's record. If Wes's are diminishing, Amendola's have diminished throughout his career because he's been injury prone.
Absolutely. They were saying that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, they were saying that, since Welker's been in New England, he's missed a total of 5 games, which is as many as Amendola missed last year alone. So, I mean, I don't know how much you can put into the whole injury thing in terms of, Welker getting broken down at 32 opposed to Amendola at 27, who has played in, out of 30, he's played in something like 15 games in 2 years,
No doubt about it. Here's the thing I saw Kraft's comments. He's doing damage control at the NFL meetings. Understand that. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't some truth to what Kraft said as far as Welker's agents trying to diminish a little bit. And because you know what, when there's a situation like that, that agent sees a payday just like the player sees a payday in free agency.
Absolutely.
So the agents can steer a little bit, but you know what, Wes Welker's smart enough that that if Bill Belichick or Kraft or anybody in that organization called him up and said, "Hey, Wes, we don't know what your agent's telling you, but we want you, and here's what we think is the value of this deal." I mean, they could have picked up the phone, and they may have picked up the phone, and Welker still didn't go for it. But at the end of the day, I know Wes Welker well enough to know he's a guy that if he feels like he's not being respected as well as he should, because he's been through this his entire career, then his preference is going to be go somewhere else and make you pay.
Right.
So if I'm a New England Patriots fan, I think Tom Brady knows this because he and Welker are friends. He understands how Wes Welker's mind works. Tom Brady knows that not only did the Patriots lose Wes Welker, but now he will do everything in his power if they go head-to-head to throw it back in their face. It's a pride thing. And Wes Welker is a very prideful person. And if he gets a chance to stick it to New England, you better open up wide because he's going to stick it to you.
I'm kind of concerned about that. But
yeah, I would be too. And it's not like he's playing around with some 10-cent quarterback either. The guy that he'll be having the ball thrown to him by is he's another guy that likes to get after New England and especially relishes that rivalry, which he's behind in with Tom Brady.
Yeah, I will say.
Yeah, I would worry about. Now, I think they're similar players. And Aaron, once you weigh in on this, I think those two guys are similar players, but one of them is just what I would call a little bit above average NFL talent and receiver, and the other guy's a potential NFL Hall of Famer.
I think Danny Amendola is really good when he's on the field, but he's missed 20 games in the last 2 years alone. And in that Patriot offense, we saw, I mean, if Danny Amendola is truly going to fill in for Wes Welker, he's going to be expected to catch, 10, 12 passes a game, and he's going to take a lot of hard hits.
Yep. And, here's the thing. This is something that I got to think Wes Welker thought about. Going to Denver's got really good outside receivers, and another, especially in the fact that he's a guy that knows Peyton Manning well, another good inside receiver. And I think those add up to the fact that Wes Welker realizes with the Broncos, it's going to be very hard for secondaries to double up or bracket him in coverage. He's going to have a lot of one-on-one coverage and a lot of opportunity to see wide open spaces in the zone that could lead to a lot of big plays. Because if Denver's going to run a lot of four wide, which they will, with the four receivers they're going to have in there, wow. I mean, they're all pretty good.
And I think his numbers might dip a little bit just because they're not going to have to, Tom Brady had to throw the ball to Wes Welker 15 times a game.
I think his reception numbers will dip. I don't think his yardage numbers will.
Well, even if they both do at the same time, I think this could actually lengthen his career because he's not going to have to take as many hits and carry as big of a load as he did in New England.
I say that. Let me be clear. Because I agree with you. There's more weapons. And I think the ball will be spread around more by Peyton. I think his receptions per game and maybe even his yards per game will dip. I think his yards per reception will go up.
Yeah, I could see that for sure with those. I mean, with Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker on the outsides.
Yeah, and then even on the other side of the inside receiver, you've got
well, Stokely isn't.
Stokely.
He's not under contract right now, so it's not 100% that he's going to bring him back. But you'd think they would. He's probably a pretty cheap guy to bring back.
Yeah, I think he'd want to go back. I think that's the place that Brandon Stokely would want to play. So, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. If you've got those four guys lined up, what's the defense to do? No, they're not going to be able to. I don't think they'll double the outside. I don't think they'll bracket the inside. I think you got to go with what I would say is a cover 2, cover 4, or man up. Man free coverage back there because there's too many weapons, and I don't think you can lean one way or the other. So. Anyway, there you go. I think it's a good deal I actually think it's a good deal for Wes Welker. Now, here's the contention Kraft said. The Patriots were going to give him more money in the first year than Denver is, but the overall value of the contract with Denver is much greater, but a lot of that money with Denver comes in the second year, and of course Kraft is spending it. He says, hey, he may never get to that second year to collect that money because it's not guaranteed. But I got to think Wes Welker's going to have a good enough year next year that Denver is going to keep him around to pay him the biggest part of that deal in the second year. I think that'll happen. So, and it's really up to Wes Welker. But yeah, playing with Peyton Manning, I think you'll be fine. I really do. All right, we need to take another time out. We'll do that. We'll come back. Stay with us.
But that doesn't matter.